This is still under ratio and proportion. So we are going to solve some of the exams question. This is a little bit relating to word problems. So let's look at the question first. According to the question, there are five more girls than boys. So assuming there are 35 boys in the class, then we have five more girls than the boys, meaning that this is what plus five. So if the girls are what, let's say the girls are the girls will be what 40. Is that okay? Because we are told of plus five, additional five. Those are 35 boys in the class, right? If there are 35 boys in the class, we have additional five or students that are more than what the boys. So the girls are going to be what 40. This is very, very simple. Is that okay? Now here we are not giving any specific what number or a figure here. So all that we are going to do here is in mathematics, if you are not giving or we don't know anything, we use a variable to represent that. And then the most common variable that we have been using is the x, right? So we are saying that let x be the number of boys in the class, right? So the s is going to be the number of boys in the class, right? Okay, perfect. Now, you see, the problem about mathematics is that you have to read a sentence by a sentence and then write what it means down before you proceed, right? Okay, now that's just for the first one. So the second part says that you have an additional two boys joining the class. Is that okay? Now, if you have X boys in the class, so what do you think will be the number of girls in the class? So, of course, I said that if the boys are, let's say, 35, and then the girls are five more than what the boys, so the girls are going to be what 40, right? So if you have X boys here, meaning that you have the number of the girls going to be X plus 5, right? So the X here stands for the boys. Just like what I said here, 35 boys here, and then we have what five boys more than a girl, so plus five. This is going to be the number of girls in the class. But here we are just giving what unknown number. So we are using the S to represent that. So this is the number of girls what in the class. Now with the additional two boys joining the class, is that okay? So with the additional two boys joining the class, how many boys are in the class? We have X this number of boys in the class. That's the X. So if you add this one, two plus the X, right? So two plus the X will give us the number of girls in, boys in that class, right? So that's why we have s plus 2 at this point. Okay, now we are giving the ratio. So the arrangement is very, very important. So what I mean by the arrangement here, what comes first? So you have girls here before what? The boys. So the ratio of the girls to boys is very, very important. So the ratio of the girls to boys. So those will be the number of the boys in the class, right? So here we are having what s plus 5, right? And then the girls also going go to what the s what plus or plus 2, right? So that will be the number of what the girls. Okay, so the ratio of what girls here to the boys. So the girls are what s plus 5, and then the boys are what s plus 2. So the ratio is going to be s plus 5 is 2. So this is the symbol for ratio is to s plus 2, which is for the girls. So the girls here, right? Sorry, and then this for the boys, right? So this is the ratio that we are giving. We are giving that the ratio to be 5 is to 4 from the question. So this everything here, girls to boys is equal to what? 4 is to, sorry, 5 is to 5. Okay, now this is 2 here means what? A division, right? So this is 2 means division. So we are going to have s plus 5 divided by what? S plus 2 here, which is equal to then 5 and then divided by 4. Now here is a manipulation. You just need to manipulate these things here. So this is equal to sign. So we can sometimes do a cross multiplication, right? So in some cases, so this guy is going to multiply whatever is at the down here. So this one is also going to multiply whatever at the top here. Remember, this is 2, right? Okay, so we have 5 multiplied the down one, which is what 5 into bracket s plus 2, and then the 4 down here is going to multiply the top one, which is the numerator. That is what 4 into bracket s plus 5. So you need to expand the bracket. If you expand, don't forget that this 5 here is multiplying anything that is in the bracket. Right? So you have 5 multiplied by what s, that gives us what 5x, and then we have what 5 multiplied by 2, that will give us what 10. And then on the right hand side we have what 4 multiplied by what x, that is 4s, and then here we also give us what 20. So we are going to group like terms, and then in some cases you may subtract 10 from both sides of the equation, right? So 10 from both sides of the equation, or you may rearrange it, so whichever way, right? So you just need to group everything, then you arrive at this x is equal to 10. This x here, we are the one who will introduce this x. So this x stands for something. So remember at the beginning of the video here, we said that let x be the number of boys, right? So let x here be the number of. So at the end, if you have our x to be equal to 10, meaning that the number of boys here are 10. So this stands for what? The boys, right? So this x here stands for the boys. But according to the question, they are asking us to find the number of girls in the class, right? So the number of the girls in the class. Then way back here, you can see that here we are having the number of girls to be what s plus 5, right? So the s plus 5, this s here is 10. So you just need to replace this s by 10. So 10 plus 5 is equal to 15, right? So 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. That's why you have the number of girls to be what 10 plus 5 to be what 15 girls in that class, right? Okay, now the second question says that you should find the total number of people in what in the class. So the total number of people is in the class, of course, that is going to be what the number of the girls and the plus what the number of the boys, right? So that one will give us the total number of students in that class, right? So the total number of the students is going to be 10 plus 15. So this is for the boys and this is for the girls, right? So that will give us 25 students in that class, right? Okay, now finally, then the second part here is we are going to find the probability. So let me give you a simple understanding of the probability. So when I say probability of something, it means that uh, uh, let's say we have in your family, you guys are just five in the family, 5 children, right? So 5 children here in that family, and the entire children. Let's say you guys are assuming the entire family, you guys are what, 25. So we want to find the probability of selecting a child, right? So the child here is going to be what we are looking for, which is 5 divided by the total number of people in that family, which is 25. Right, so this is what we call what? A probability. So bringing that idea to this point here, we want to find the probability that selecting a boy to be the school prefect in that class, right? So the chance of selecting a boy to be a school prefect in that class, you need to know the total number of boys in the class. So the number of the boys in that class is 10, which we all know. So how many students are in the class? In all, we have what? 25 students in the class, right? So what will be the chance for selecting a boy to be the school prefect is going to be 10, right? So it's going to be what? 10 divided by what? 25. You're supposed to be 25. So 10 divided by 25, that will give you a 2 over 5. If you want to know how I do this thing, it's going to be, you can take 5. 5 will go here 2, and then 5 will go here over 5, right? So this is how you can reduce this guy to go 2 over 5. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you have any questions or anything that you want to learn more on this.